Hi everybody. So in today's installment, we bring out the ribs. Yeah, and you know what? And this is one of those moments of humility that I try to have more of. I was dreading this, completely dreading doing these ribs. Just such a royal pain. I figured. Let me do the math on that. 20 times 15. Right. So rough estimate is that there's 670 uh, rivet pre-drilled holes in these ribs. So 670. So on the top and the bottom, there's 48 apiece. There's 14 ribs. It's 672. I'm just saying 670. So there's 670 holes, right? You got to flute all these ribs. You got to straighten all the edges. You got to deburr, which is a pain in the butt, and I didn't even do that in the right order. I should have deburred everything first, but I didn't. I just went ahead. Oh, okay, yeah, flute and straighten the edges. Of course, why not? Now deburring's gonna be a giant pain in the ass with that seesaw piece of metal. Anyway, 670 holes. You got to flute around each. Well, not all of them, but most of them. You got to final drill all of them, and then you have to deburr. That means both sides. And then, of course, you have to dimple. So, pulling the math out, that winds up being like 3,300 plus operations that you have to pull off on just those little ribs right there. Pardon me, frog in my throat. So yeah, I mean that's a lot, and so I was kind of just completely not wanting to do it. So again, we've gone over what fluting is. We know how to straighten a rib, so I'm just going to let that run and give you an update. Uh, I'm going to be trying to put in some more work on these to finish it, because once you just get past that hump of all those operations, then you can mount them up to that spar. You can start torquing stuff on and riveting, and then you don't ever have to worry about it again. So I'm just pushing through. I'm going to push through, by God, and do the damn shit. Pardon my language. However, this week might not be the best time for it. Uh, two of our planes at our club have no engine at the moment, and that's never good. So what we're actually doing is one of the engines has been delivered. We have it for the plane. It's for the plane that you'll see behind me in the hangar. And we had the engine mount taken off, and so there's the saga of the engine mount, which has been a pain. Uh, there was only a few places that do bead blasting in the Bay Area where I am that do it soft enough for this kind of metal. We don't need it sandblasted. That'll take off too much metal. You know, this is a mount for an engine on a plane. It needs to be solid. So I had to get an appointment to get it bead blasted. That took over a week. So I took it out to get x-rayed. So because you want to just x-ray all the welds, make sure everything looks good. And the x-rays came back clean, which was great. So I had to pick that up. I had to bring it back to get sandblasted. And that takes a couple of days because, you know, sandblasters like to do things like not call in for work for a couple of days straight. Just go back out, pick up the mount, then bring it back down to the South Bay area where I had to now get it penetrant tested, which is basically like a fluorescent dye that tests to see if there's any visual cracks. And then I just got it. Now I've got to pick it up, and now I've got to go get it powder coated. So that's just for one piece. Pain in the ass. And the overall cost of all of that mess is going to be about $500. No. $700. Maybe $800. 100 to get it bead blasted professionally, which seemed like a jacked up price, but we don't have a bead blast booth that's that big. The testing's gonna be about 4, and I'm guessing the powder coating will be about 2. Anyway, so yeah, because of that, I got to go pick that damn man out today. Got to go get it powder coated. Then I got to bring it back. I've got to order the baffling because the damn baffling got ordered wrong. I've got to order that properly. Uh, if not, we're gonna have to use the old baffling, and that stuff's just crap. We'd have to fix a piece of it. Anyway, That's what it is. So anyway, as you see me in the next step here, I'm just final drilling all the flange holes and all those ribs. And here's an angle we haven't seen for a while. So now let the deburring begin. Now I will say, I was complaining about those 3,500 or 3,300 movements. Having that deburr bit on the head of the drill makes it very fast. As you can see, I can go through each side in less than a minute. And that's 48. So it's roughly 1 per second if I'm, on a roll. So yeah, actually, if you look just over my right shoulder, behind me, under the tarp, is the new engine. And it's so pretty. It is so pretty. You know what? Insert picture here. Look at that. I mean, that's a shame that we're going to have to make that thing dirty. The greatest tragedy for engines is that they get used. So yeah, just deburring the outside, like I've always said, it's easy to do it with an electric drill. Mine's got a slow and a fast setting, so I put it into slow mode and just pop the trigger. And it actually helps if it's got a fresh battery. Now you might think, well, it's going to be turning faster with a fresh battery. Yes, but because it's turning faster, it actually bites less when it does it. Because you don't want to over deburr. That's the thing that I see more often than anything, is people over deburring. So here I'm taking a break instead of redoing the inside. So these are the flap hinge attachments for the ribs, and they are on rib 3 and 8. So pulled out 3, pulled out 8, did a little match drilling, some clecoing. Feels good to take metal off that fast. Then of course go back and deburr everything. Now I've already deburred those flap hinges. Those things are huge, and to take a lot of filing and grunting and sweating and wheel work on the bench grinder, so I don't actually have video of that. That's just one of those things, if I just happen to have 30 seconds while I was in the hangar for something, I would just file away for a while. Anyway, so I'm apparently just gonna F off in the chair for the rest of the video. So anyway, yep, just working away. Gonna do a little bit more work today after I do my chores for the club. And I will see you guys later.